On this tutorial, we're going to talk about the edit pin sets and pin set types. All draperies and drapery valances require a drapery pin set in order to hook the drapery to hang properly on the rod. Now, these pin sets vary based on the rod type, manufacturer, and also the ring or the carrier on the drapery rod. For example, here we actually have 22 records of different types of pin sets. Now the challenge you get is trying to remember all these. Back in the day there was only one or two rods. Now there's zillions of different rods that all have different pin settings. And if you're used to a line that uses a certain track, you could create a new one. And you can also add them here, and then there's a column for the size, and then the other column displays inches, and then you got a rod type description. So the rod type description is nice because this record right here, Cravat rods rings, and this is Kirschwood rings, require a pin set of 1/4 inch. Now, Ona's, which is really Ona's drapery hardware, their rings require a 3/8. Woodland rods, Deck rods, the Finial Company, Kirsch Estate rods, and so forth require a 1/2 inch. And what makes it really nice here is they're stored here, but where you find them for quick access is pretty slick. I'm going to go back to main. I'm going to hit enter and view quotes, and I'm going to open up 11393. I'm going to go to the treatment tab, and I'm going to go to this item 6, which happens to be a drapery. If you go on the general tab, right here it says pin set. If you open up this column, this list right here is mirroring what was on the pin set tab. And if you notice, I'm using Helsingborg rods. Perfect. It's 3/4 inch. Or like Samosa rods, 7/8. That's an odd one to remember. The hook setting is not in here. I realize I need to add one. It's not in my list, so I'm going to hit the question box. Down in here in the bottom, we're going to select new record. And we're going to call it 1.25 inches. And the inches on that is 1 inch. Let me move some of these forms out of the way here real quick, because we're active in this window right here. And the description is Paris, Texas hardware. And we're going to close the record. That sets it in place. Now, watch, when you hit set, it's actually going to fill it in this box right here. So I'm going to click set, and there it is. Because I edited on the fly, I'm going to close the record. So that's how you add a pin set. Let's see if we can delete a pin set. See, I actually have two of them identical in here. See here, I cannot delete these. So once you set one, now this is going to let me because I have no record tied to that. So I'm going to click that to remove that. Now if you notice here, I'm going to delete this record from there, and then I'm going to try to delete it here. There again, it's going to allow me to delete it. So here's a good example. If it's tied to a job or a quote, you cannot delete it. But this allows me to delete because and there again, to close out the pin set, you right click on the tab itself, click close, and you're taken out of it. To close this window out, you hit the little door, and then you hit the X here, and get back to the pin set. You would go to the treatment defaults and click edit and pin sets, and it brings it back up. So that is what pin set does and its function.